What's going on, podcasters and YouTubers? This is Jav here, one of your hosts from The Real Fan Review. Today with me, I got my brother, your brother, B.
Konnichiwa! What's up?
Konnichiwa, bitches. What's that from, man? I don't even remember what that's from, Konnichiwa.
I don't even know. Something stupid. I think Chris Tucker.
Yeah, man, just me and B tonight on the mics. We're going to have Al and Sanj hopefully back next week, so we'll see those guys next time. But on this podcast today, man, we're going to be talking about Snake Eyes. We'll do a review of it. We'll give you the spoiler-free, and then we're going to go into it and kill it, as we usually do with the spoilers, even for good movies. We're going to talk about Leslie Grace from In the Heights being casted as Barbara Golden, and these rumors of our old pal Kingpin from the Daredevil series on Netflix showing up. And we're also going to talk about those trailers for Dune and Jackass. And let's start off right there, Brandon. Last week, we sent the trailers to each other regarding Dune coming out. I think Al sent the one for Dune. I sent the one for Jackass. Yeah. Both works of art. So, Brandon, man, really quickly, man, what was your thoughts on both trailers? Did one stand out over the other, even though they're completely different movies?
You know, I'm actually going to say, the one trailer that really stood out for me the most was Jackass Forever. I can't even lie. Just because, like, I don't know. I feel like you and I, like, we grew up watching Jackass together on MTV, especially when Steve-O and Chris Dunn went and did their own show. What was it, like Wild Boys or something?
Wild Boys.
Wild Boys, right? Like, I remember watching all the Jackass movies in the theaters. They're so funny. And this one, like, I can't even lie. Like, watching it, I felt like I was, like, just like the trailer said, like, I was back with some old friends. Like, yeah. I had, like, a little tear out of my eye. It was so funny. And I'm like, this is going to be so stupid. I can't wait.
I cannot wait for this movie. I showed my wife the trailer. She goes, I'm not watching this. And I'm like, dude, you're bugging. This is going to be hilarious.
It's going to be great. I was dying every scene. I'm like, this is great.
What's crazy is they're like 50 years old, all of them, right? Yeah. Or they're almost 50. And according to, oh my God, I forgot the most craziest one. What's his name? The guy.
Knoxville, Steve-O?
Steve-O goes, well, Johnny's only 49, so we're still good. Yeah. And it just sees some crazy stunts, crazy tricks and stuff that they're doing to each other. And it's just ridiculous. And then the scene stealer for me, it's funny because it was the least physical comedy of the whole trailer. It was this, I don't know who the guy was, but they tied him up to a chair. And he goes, why are you pouring honey on my head? And he goes, salmon? Why are you putting salmon in my crotch? And then a grizzly bear walks out. If you could see somebody's eyes pop out of their chest or their head there, man.
That was it.
I was rewinding that look of his face in fright for about a good like 10, 15 minutes, man.
Dude, I was dying when Eric Andre was at the ice cream truck. And the shit went and punched him in the face. I was like, they're getting everybody. Like, it don't matter who you are, you're all getting it.
Oh my God. And I think there's like, you can see like there's other people out there besides Andre. You also have, I think it was Machine Gun Kelly on a bicycle getting slapped. So I mean, I just to see him get slapped is perfect. So
it's great. I'll take it.
Yeah. And again, you see some crazy stuff. You see Johnny Knoxville flying in the air from a bull a bull horning him almost. It's just so ridiculous how these guys are not dead yet. But
how they've escaped so many major injuries. Like, I'm looking at the stunts here. I'm like, oh, that's a cataract right there. Like, that's a broken bone. Like, you know, I'm like, how are these guys just walking away? So, I mean, thankfully, they've been able to walk away from these.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm very thankful for that. But like, you watch these things, you're like, how the hell?
I'm calling it now movie of the year.
It's going to be. Absolutely going to be.
All right. Now let's not forget that Dune also put out a trailer because Jackass stole it last week. But Dune put out a longer trailer. This is the story trailer. And mind you, this movie's not coming out till the end of either November or beginning of December sometime. And I gotta say, man, listen, I don't have really a knowledge base of Dune. I haven't seen the first one, or if I did, it's been a long, long time that I don't remember it. But that trailer actually was a lot better than that first teaser trailer. I got more of a feel for the story. I feel like I'm looking at a big battle, but I also feel like for this movie I have to pack like snacks, a pillow, because it looks like it's about to be a 4-hour movie.
It's a straight. It literally looks like the runtime is 3:43, like 3 hours 43 minutes set. I feel like that's for sure.
Yeah, that movie just looks long, and it was a trailer for 2 minutes. So
you got to get ready for this movie.
I mean, what was your thoughts on the trailer? A lot of Jason Momoa. What'd you think?
I mean, I have, by watching the trailer alone, it looks gorgeous. It looks like it's going to be action-packed, more so than the teaser led on. It looks like it's going to be really deep. It looks like it's going to have a great story. My worries, though, is that this is another HBO-Max movie and theater movie. Because I know they were fighting to get it off of HBO-Max, but it is getting released on HBO-Max.
Wow.
So I'm a little concerned because I think me and my HBO-Max theory that, since the directors believe this wasn't worth being put on HBO-Max, I feel like this is going to be a lot better of a movie just because they fought to not be on there. But, I feel like this is a scenario like we talked about, like where the picture, the sound, all of it's going to come together if you're in a movie theater. And I think it might make the experience, but I'm just worried that this is going to be something that looks really promising and is going to be a letdown.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man, because again, it looks so well made. A lot of good actors in this movie, a lot of history to this movie or this theme of Dune here, and it looks beautiful without a doubt. Looks amazing. But I'm a little worried about the story because it did look like there's a lot of different scenes in this movie where it might be a little long. Again, I have no idea about the runtime, but it looks like a good 4 or 5 hour.
It seems like you really have to invest yourself in the story or you're going to get lost.
Yeah, definitely, man. So looking forward to both of these movies. Again, I believe Jackass is coming out sometime in September, October sometime. And I know for sure that the Dune movie's coming out November, December sometime. So we'll definitely, once we see more, we'll definitely tell you about it. And when we catch these movies, we will let you know how funny Jackass is and how amazing Dune should be. All right. So that's amazing. And Brandon kind of like snuck into HBO Max in there. So we got some other news this week regarding HBO Max. They're creating their own Batgirl. And it looks like they hired Leslie Grace from In the Heights. I can't remember the name of the character she played in The Heights, though, Brandon. Do you remember?
I don't remember, no, but she was integral to the movie. And I remember she did play really well in her role, along with the other male lead in the movie. That I told you that their dance scene on the building was one of my favorite scenes I've seen this year.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I remember her story. She's the character that went to, I believe, was Harvard and she dropped out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or like Stanford. Yeah, like Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford or Harvard, one of the two. But I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing her in the movie. I'm surprised that she got casted for Batgirl for playing Barbara Gordon. And I'm looking forward to seeing it, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually really intrigued in that, just for the fact that I know on, I believe, their Gotham show that they're making has a character who is also, I believe, black. He's playing Commissioner Gordon. So I don't know if this is like a tie-in or some way. So I like that they're being more diverse. I mean, I saw the list of actresses who are up for the role of Barbara Gordon, and I thought they were all incredible. Zoe Deutsch being one of my favorite actresses. But I think Leslie Grace, I think she deserves the role, and I think she's going to do well. I just, I have this concern again because HBO Max. And the fact that I feel like they don't believe in these movies enough because they're doing the same thing with Static. I don't know if they believe enough in these movies because they're just straight to HBO Max and there's no theatrical release for them. I'm a little worried about that, but I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have a feeling you're gonna change your mind with your HBO Max stuff when we get the Suicide Squad. A lot of good reviews about the Suicide Squad. So that's coming out in, I believe, not this week, but the following week. But I'm not watching it at home. That's being watched in the theaters. That's being definitely watched in the theaters.
Oh,
so, yeah, man.
I hope so.
in rumored news, we don't really talk about rumors that often unless it's kind of big, but this is a pretty big one, Brandon.
Yeah.
Rumors going around right now that some of the Daredevil characters are going to start appearing in Marvel movies. Now, we're talking about the Daredevil Netflix series there that was amazing. I believe they had 3 seasons of the Daredevil in the Netflix, and they were all pretty good. So the theory or the rumor is right now is the character, believe is D'Onofrio, who was the, I think your mic just went, Brandon.
Oh yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio.
There you go. So I believe he's going to be playing the Kingpin in the Hawkeye series. So, we always had those rumors of the Daredevil himself being played as Matt Murdock, the lawyer in Spider-Man Spider-Man No Way Home, which is coming out this December. So hopefully this is the first line of many of these Netflix characters being part of the multiverse here, Brandon.
Yeah.
So that's the way I guess they're going to try to explain it if they're in it. But listen, if you're asking me if I want that as my Kingpin, absolutely. He killed it as Kingpin in that Daredevil series. So I would love for him to play along in the Marvel Universe. How about you, Brandon?
I completely agree. I feel like all the actors and actresses from the Daredevil series, they were incredible across the board. So him especially, I mean, he was a leading character for all 3 seasons, basically. Even when he wasn't a big part, when he had a big part. And he executed the role of Kingpin perfectly. Like, I can't see anybody else as Kingpin. I think the only person I can see as Kingpin is the late James Gandolfini. Like, he's the only other person I can see. So this guy, incredible. I hope that this rumor comes out to be true, and I would love to see him in the universe.
Yeah, I mean, he played that part so perfectly that I remember one time, I think there was a painting that was blank, and he just looked at it, and I was just like, I believe him. He's crazy. He's crazy.
All right.
That's nuts, man. So listen, guys, that is the news and rumors of this week, man. So listen, if you're listening to us on your favorite podcasting app, email us at therealfanreview@gmail.com. That's REEL. Or if you're watching the YouTube, put a comment below. Let us know what you thought about the news segments. Are you looking forward to Jackass Forever like we are over here? Or did you prefer the Dune trailer? What would you think about Leslie Grace being casted as Batgirl? And how about Vincent D'Onofrio being Kingpin in the Hawkeye series? What's your thoughts on those things, man? We'd love to see and know what you guys are thinking out there. So really quick, before we jump into the Snake Eyes review, Brandon got a chance to watch Old this afternoon. Yeah. And I'm curious because if I can see Old, I'm going to try to see it. But I need to know if it's worth my time. Is it worth our fans' time, Brandon?
Ooh, that's a good one. So I'll say this. We loved M. Night Shyamalan in the early 2000s, 1999. Unbreakable, Sixth Sense, and Signs. Those were the top 3. Everything after that, The Village was like hit or miss, and then everything else sucked. This movie, I went into it with the thought that it was gonna suck, to be honest. Just because I ever since Unbreakable, when they made Glass recently, I was really let down with what they did there. So I went into this thinking it was gonna suck, and I'll say that it's better than I thought. It's not great. It's good. It hits on the good read. I would say you should see it.
Wow. Okay.
The movie's about an hour and 45 minutes, and
good time.
About an hour and 15 of it, maybe an hour and 25, you are very uncomfortable. The themes in this movie, they're meant to make you uncomfortable scene by scene. And so the first half of the movie, I'm like, oh God, as everything's happening, I'm just like, oh, I'm just getting physically uncomfortable in my seat, as everything happens, because things just kind of happen one after another. They just don't stop, and so every scene leads into something. And I would say the way he does that is really interesting. It brings me back to the early sense of M. Night Shyamalan, because those movies, Sixth Sense, there were portions of it that were meant to make you uncomfortable before the big twist. Same thing with Unbreakable. It was kind of cringy at first. Like if you really think about it, the story, the way it progressed of David Dunn was really cringy, and then it got really good. This movie was the same, where it's everything's meant to make you feel uncomfortable about what's happening to these people on the spot. And then, true to M. Night Shyamalan fashion, there's a twist at the end of the movie. And I will say that the twist in this movie was rather interesting. I did like the twist.
Okay.
I would say that the movie did a great job setting it up. I think overall, between the uncomfortable scenes, there wasn't a lot of, I'm going to say something stupid. There wasn't a lot of growth for these characters.
Play on words, Brandon.
It's a play on words. There wasn't a lot of growth for a lot of these characters. There were a few characters that they really kind of set on, and there are some characters who have a really big role, but they're kind of left out until something big needed to happen with them. And I wish that there were about 8 people at this point, and of these 8 people, I wish they all got equally enough time shared for their stories. Some of them got their story just before bad things happen. So I wish that they all had an equal chance there, whereas 4 people kind of had the most growth out of everybody else. So I would say you should see it. It's a good movie, and I think the twist behind it at the end is rather interesting and makes the movie worth it.
Wow. So this is part of the Shyamalan Renaissance.
He's trying to come back.
He's trying to come back. Listen, there's a couple that he's made. There was one with the grandparents that was awesome. He made Devil, which was okay.
Yeah.
I forgot the last one that he made.
Was good.
What's one?
Split,
yes. Glass wasn't so great. Glass, you can't drown a person in a puddle, bro. Like, you're a superhero. You can't drown in a puddle.
Oh, my one weakness, puddles.
But not for nothing, he has been making a lot of he's making better movies lately, and I definitely was excited to see this. The preview alone made me interested, so I definitely want to check it out. But Brandon, thank you for selling it for me. I will definitely see Old sometime this week. Then, thank you.
Yeah, definitely, everybody. You should go see it. It's a good movie, and I actually feel that the movie experience, the theater. So if you feel comfortable with going to the movies, I think that the theater experience actually does help with a lot of that feelings that it was trying to instill.
Wow, perfect, man. And then the last thing we're going to talk about today, Brandon, is going to be Snake Eyes, that we got a chance to watch on Thursday last week. You, myself, Sanjay, and Al all went to go check out Snake Eyes, and I really will miss the fellas on this one. And it's crazy. So let's do a non-spoiler review to tell you why it's crazy that I'm saying I'm going to miss the fellas on this one. So again, non-spoilers, people, you haven't seen Snake Eyes, you have nothing to worry about. We're just going to talk about a few things on this, and then we'll get into the spoiler talk of Snake Eyes really quick. So my personal review for this is, I don't think you should rush to go see it at all. It's interesting what they do with the character. Now, what I'll say this, Henry Golding as Snake Eyes is cool. It actually works. Snake Eyes talking, it actually works. But there's parts of it that don't work because of the stuff we're going to talk about in spoilers. Because as good as he played Snake Eyes, I don't think we saw Snake Eyes. I don't think we saw the Snake Eyes that we all know and love. I don't think we saw him in this movie, but he's coming, and I believe it's the path has been laid of where we're going to see Snake Eyes. Now, I will say this, and this is not spoilery because they kind of spoiled it themselves in the freaking trailers. It's that the ending to the movie is in the trailers. The post-credit scene is in the trailers. It's crazy. I just don't understand why they went with that route, but We'll talk more about that in the spoiler section. But I will say this. It is interesting enough where if you did want to see it, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? I think the thing that makes it suck is, someone like Brandon, myself, Al, and Sanj, we grew up playing with Snake Eyes toys, watching Snake Eyes on cartoons, and reading about Snake Eyes in the comic books. So we have an opinion for who Snake Eyes is and what he should be like and what he does. But this is just a story of how Snake Eyes became Snake Eyes kind of thing. And I guess, it's just I left the movie feeling something different. Now, that's the most that I can say right now. I will say again, it is entertaining. There's a lot of entertainment to it. You will laugh. You will say, oh shit, to a couple of things. But overall, I'm going to say you don't need to rush to go see this thing. All right. So that's like, the 3 tiers is you need to see it. You should see it. Don't rush. Don't waste your time and don't bother. It's right in the middle. Don't rush. Take your time. I wish this was an HBO-Max one. I would watch it. I would watch it again on HBO-Max. I'm not going to the theaters to watch this thing. But Brandon, how about you, man? Non-spoiler review of Snake Eyes.
They really mean it when they say G.I. Joe Origins. They really mean it. I would just say, as somebody who loves Snake Eyes, I love Ray Park's role as Snake Eyes in the original G.I. Joe movies. I think his portrayal of Snake Eyes was incredible. He didn't say a word, but everything he did was Snake Eyes. If you know Snake Eyes, you know why he doesn't speak. And
I didn't like Snake Eyes' lips. Why did he have lips in a
Power Ranger? He looked like a Power Ranger.
Those are the old movies.
That was the old movies, yeah. But I will say this. I truly enjoyed Henry Golding playing Snake Eyes. I truly enjoyed the actor who plays Storm Shadow. He was in The Warrior from AMC, sorry. He was in he was the lead character of The Warrior. He's incredible as who would become Storm Shadow. The
Just
two of them
in the commercials again.
I think we all know. But I think the two of them do such a great job playing off of each other in this movie, and that's kind of where it ends. Story-wise, it's a shoot and a miss. The interpretation of Snake Eyes in this movie is new. It's different, and it's going to be an opinionated hit or miss for some of you guys. For me, it was a miss, and just kind of like, the world of G.I. Joe, and that it's not straightforward. I mean, if you watch the cartoon, there's a talking snake. He's a warrior. So that there's elements of fantasy in G.I. Joe, and this movie does a bit of both, and it doesn't work and it doesn't balance well.
Because when you do the whole movie serious and this is the Batman, the Christopher Nolan Batman of G.I. Joe, and then at the end you do some hocus pocus, like
what? So I would agree with Hav. Don't rush. It'll be out in the next 4 weeks for on demand. So check it out then. If you're a fan of G.I. Joe, go ahead. It's got G.I. Joe elements in it. So definitely go check it out if you like G.I. Joe. If you don't know what G.I. Joe is, wait for it to come out. Don't be in a rush. You're not missing a thing.
No, not at all. And I will say again, Brandon was just saying, if you're a fan of G.I. Joe, there are going to be some things in there. Some things. Nothing much. Some things that you'd be like, oh, hey, okay. And that, my friends, is it as far as the non-spoiler review there of Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. As you heard, it was very hard to not say certain things because I want to just rip it apart for a second. So that's the best we can do without giving you too much stuff of what happens in the movie. So now for the people who have seen the movie, or if you don't care about spoilers, we and Brandon will now proceed to rip it a new one.
We'll destroy it.
Yeah. as it well deserves. Okay, it deserves to be. First of all, oh wait, well, so here we go, guys. Some spoilers from here on out. Me and Brandon, Snake Eyes, GI Joe Origins. Okay, I'm laughing already. Brandon, did you leave the theater on Snake Eyes' side?
Nope. Nope. I have never felt more bad for a would-be villain, potential future villain, than I did at that end of the movie. I'm like, what the fuck? I felt so bad for Storm Shadow.
I felt terrible for Storm Shadow. And the whole entire movie, I kept looking at you guys go, Snake Eyes is a dick.
Snake Eyes is such an asshole.
He is such an asshole. From the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. I'm to this day trying to figure out what did he do to get the Snake Eye suit.
Dude, I not even that he was the dick till the last minute. No, he really was a dick to the last minute because the motherfucker walked away with the Klan's best high-tech suit for no goddamn reason.
Wait, and then the guy who's protecting the Klan gets kicked out and told not to come back, and he can't lead. I don't. You know.
Wait. They said, Tommy, you're never going to lead this clan because we're supposed to protect it. So you can choose to serve it or leave. He's like, oh, I'm leaving. They're like, no, don't leave. You just told the guy he could serve it or leave it.
He took the other option.
You gave it to him.
Don't give him another option if you don't want him to take it.
And they're like, you know what? We got to go bring Tommy back.
Oh my God.
He made the choice because you fucked him.
So Brandon and I just Tarantino'd it really quick. We Quentin Tarantino the review real quick because we had to mention that Snake Eyes is a dick, right?
Fucking dick.
But let's go to the beginning of this movie, how it starts off. You know, we get the origins of Snake Eyes to find out why he gets called Snake Eyes. Now, I don't understand why he wants to be called Snake Eyes when it's the reason that his dad is dead.
Because some shitty trickery dice. Like damn.
You know what? Now I'll be Snake Eyes. He might as well call himself Bullet.
Call me Housefire.
This is so ridiculous. Like, there had to be a better reason for them to call him Snake Eyes, man. But I get it. So I mean, is that's number one, is the origin of his name was really just like, nah, that's not the reason. But there's a reason why me and Brandon are saying that he was being a dick the entire movie, right? So I mean, the whole play of Snake Eyes is he's undercover as I guess a villain's bad guy of the
informant. Yeah,
he's like an informant basically for the Yakuza. And he gets cool with Tommy, who is Storm Shadow's character. You know, he gets cool with him by protecting him and saving him, but it's all part of a plan from the Yakuza to get into this clan the Storm Shadow is a part of. And, you know, it seemed cool because of the fighting and everything. Oh, and can I just really quick, Brandon, did you almost throw up from all the shaky cam?
Oh, that was the worst part.
Oh, my goodness.
The camera work is so shoddy. I looked forward to this movie because I knew there were going to be a lot of martial arts elements. But I missed the whole thing because the camera shook around every part of the movie, every fight scene, except for when we get to later on with the snakes. You saw that perfectly clear. But every fight scene was so shaky, I was going to either puke, and then I didn't see any of the fight.
Yeah, I don't understand what the thought process was shaky cam. I don't know if people think that it's bringing more action or it's like, you know, they're trying to keep us like on our toes for whatever reason. It's stupid. You know, we want to see the fight. If you're doing shaky cam, I can't see what's happening, who's flipping, who's doing what. And it's just like it was done too much.
Especially like, they flipped them over and the cameraman jumped onto the floor too. I was like, what the fuck?
There was just way too much shaky cam in this movie. And I really hope that these action movies stop doing that. They got to stop doing this whole shaking the camera so that you can feel like you're being entertained or like it's crazy. It's not crazy. It's something that you can't keep your eye on what's really happening. But again, the fight scenes were pretty cool, even though with all the shaky cam. it would have been cooler or actually looked nice or maybe made us more invested if we could see what's going on and happening. But again, we see the rescue of Tommy Storm Shadow from the Yakuza, but it's all part of this plan to get Snake Eyes into the clan. And then when we get into the clan, that you find out that there's this special hidden item that the clan is hiding inside of their temple. And it's something that they talk about, like it's something with the sun, the jewel of the sun.
Jewel of the sun.
Yeah. And we get a couple of like little training montages and stuff like that. We have Master Hard, like
the Hard Master.
The Hard Master. Like, dude, we watch these things. Come on, man. Come on. It's gonna be my Halloween costume. Is the Hard Master. You can't name things that. But anyway, I don't know, man. I mean, Brandon, what did you think of the training and all the stuff that was happening in the beginning part of the movie?
I feel like the training was meant to look cool, to show him off as a scrub, but it looked like the training process was no more than a week. And at the end of the week, he was this master ninja. And I don't know, I worked out from Monday to Sunday of last week, and I'm not in shape yet. So I don't know how that works.
Yeah, and I think there were some things that were dumb as well. Like, this guy, he acts like he's never been to Japan or anything like that before. But yet in the middle of the night, he steals a bike and goes out.
He got that map quest.
Like he's going out to sneak around to talk to the Yakuza people to say that he's infiltrating the temple or the clan and everything. And it just like there was a lot of things that just didn't make any damn sense. And then into playing into Snake Eyes acting like an asshole in the entire movie. He's being trained or being followed by a female character. I think it was Akira is her name, or Akira. Mm-hmm. And he's either the sister, the older sister, or some kind of family member to Tommy. And I think legitly, Snake Eyes punched her in the face like twice.
Twice. Straight in the face. Just cuz. He made her bleed the first time.
Like, how are we supposed to root for this guy? And he's doing dumb shit the entire movie. Like, Snake Eyes is supposed to be a good guy, a good character, a loyal character. And he's punching women in the face and
for fun.
I think she was basically telling him, like, try to hit me with your sword. And before she could say sword, he punched her in the face. Like it was funny, but it was not funny, but it was funny.
Especially because like they follow the trope so horribly that the one and only, well, not the only, but like the one central female character in this movie had to be the romantic lead, right? And so you're telling me that this girl got decked in the face twice by this guy. She assumed he was an informant. She knew he was an informant, basically.
Right. He was on
She
to him.
followed him. She like did all these things. She's like, but I fucking love this guy. I love him. I would leave this clan tonight for this guy. Like, I would do anything. And like, she got the shit out of the stick every time, and he did nothing. I don't think he even said sorry to her once.
No. Snake Eyes. Unbelievable. And then again, we get a bunch of things that happen throughout the thing. You get the training montage, and you get the training at the temple, and then you find that they do have this jewel of the sun, and you see how he gets it. And it actually, the jewel of the sun, like the location of it, that looked visually amazing.
Really awesome.
It looked amazing. It was a bunch of lanterns all over the place and looked amazing. But then when you see what the thing is, this is where we go again. You have like pretty much, if this movie's 2 hours long, I would say an hour and 15 minutes of it, it's based in real world, quote unquote, real world martial arts, real world guns and violence and, the Yakuza and ninjas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then we get a jewel that spits fire. What?
We got mystical out of nowhere.
And not even that it spits fire. The person who's holding it thinks about someone exploding, and they explode into fire. I'm like, what the hell just happened? I mean,
I think my favorite though was that every time he did it, he made the constipation face, like a like he had to think so hard to make this guy explode.
Yeah. And it's just nuts, man. And then, again, if you think about it from the beginning to the end of this movie, everything that bad happens in this movie is Snake Eye's fault.
It's
You
all his
know,
fault.
it's the temple being destroyed. It's because Snake Eyes stole the jewel. They went after him, and when they got the jewel, the bad guys of the movie, the Yakuza, they went back and destroyed the village. You know,
And it's not like he didn't know that. They specifically told him that. They said, "This is what we're gonna do," and he was like, "All right, I'll steal it. I'll
it's
fucking
nuts.
steal it."
Now, granted, there was a reason why he stole it for them because he wanted to get the information about who killed his father from the beginning of the movie, and they had the information. Now, this is where we lean into the GI Joe and the Cobra stuff that we all know and love. So apparently, who helped the Yakuza get that information was the Baroness and the Cobra, and so we got the Baroness in the movie, and then also on the other hand, again, where we think that Storm Shadow should be the bad guy, Storm Shadow and his clan work with the GI Joes.
They literally called up Scarlet.
They,
Major O'Hara. I was like, oh shit, they just called up Scarlet?
so Storm Shadow's clan that Storm Shadow's a part of works with GI Joes. Doesn't that make them good guys? Like, how is this working? Like, I'm so confused because I could have swore I have a 20-year history with the GI Joes, and Storm Shadow's supposed to be a bad guy. You're like,
Storm Shadow is supposed to be the dick here.
yeah. And again, it's just crazy. But hey, Brandon, really quick, what's your thoughts on, even they had small roles, Scarlet and Baroness. What do you think of their roles in the movie?
I thought it was cool to have them in the movie, and I thought it was a good way of explaining why they would be in the movie. Because when they were casted, I was like, why are we going to have them? Like, this has nothing to do with them. And then it's like, oh, okay, because Cobra, and they know the G.I. Joe somehow. I was like, okay, that's cool. So I thought it was really cool. For the small roles they had, I think it was a good setup for the potential of a G.I. Joe movie that I kind of hope they don't make right now.
Yeah, I mean, that whole Baroness and Scarlet and the whole G.I. Joe and Cobra thing was all world building stuff, you know, to show that they exist, kind of explain who they are. You know, Cobra is this world organization of terrorists. G.I. Joes are undercover CIA ops, you know, black ops group of individuals that are fighting against Cobra. So they kind of just like mentioned it in passing, but it was kind of cool because, of course, we all know how deep it gets. But in this real world setting that they made, it made it seem really cool and interesting. And to see Scarlet the way that she was, there was a
crossbow.
She had a crossbow in the thing, just like the cartoons. But there's a scene where she comes out of, I think, out of the airport or something, or she's in a warehouse somewhere.
Yeah.
And she has to hold her own against 4 security guards. And man, she kicked some ass. And that was amazing. You know, and even Storm Shadow, while they were watching her on her phone, they had like I guess they were FaceTiming her. In a sense, they were FaceTiming her, and she put the phone down to kick ass. And they, you know, I think it was Snake Eyes who said we should go help her, and they're like, she doesn't need help, you know. And then you see what she can do, and it kind of makes you think like, if she can do that, then what are the other GI Joes capable of? So it kind of sells the G.I. Joe being who they are in the movie sense, right? And as far as Cobra goes, you see what the Baroness could do. She's gangster basically in the movie. You know, she's killing things. She has a way of speaking and she handles her business. She's also evil. So you can kind of see where Baroness is heading and where she's going too. So it's kind of interesting to see those two characters. I would have to say that the G.I. Joe aspect of it, the G.I. Joe Cobra, that part was really cool. But to me, again, the whole thing we were watching is Snake Eyes origins, and I don't think we got Snake Eyes origin.
Especially, you know, the worst part about it was the fact that they set up in these trials that he has to do, they set up so many times that you have to let go, you have to be at peace. And then he gets to the second trial and his dad is there, the spirit or whatever of manifestation of his dad is there, who basically says like, I love you, this wasn't anything, don't worry about it, let go, be your own man. And he was like, Daddy. Like, he was fine about it. And then when it was over, He was like, I still got to do this, though. Like, dude, like, that was the moment where you were just like, oh, let me come clean. Because, like, then I could see how they would do the whole rivalry between Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, but, like, him just having hints of not being able to trust him because of that. But they were like, nah, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, though. Like, Dad, I appreciate the visit, but I still got to go fuck this shit up. Like, and then it took for him to see, correct me if that was Zartan, right?
I think they were trying to hint that it was Zartan, but if it was, they would have named him Zartan, so that we all know.
It was weird that he looked like Zartan, but he maybe wasn't. It took for him to, like, talk to Zartan to be like, oh, you work for Cobra too? No shit, Sherlock. Like, come on, man. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to follow a new path. Too late. Too late. You suck. You suck. I didn't like how they just kept going with it when they narratively put it in the movie so many times that you're just like, all right, like, is he going to accept it at any point, or are we just going to keep being a douchebag, for no actual reason?
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. Another thing I didn't like is the third trial with the snakes. That made no sense to me.
Of all things, it would be snakes.
Yeah, it's just it was just so weird. 3 huge anacondas, but like unrealistically huge anacondas. One of them actually scared the shit out of me. It hissed and jumped at the screen, and I jumped backwards. So yeah, that was pretty bad. But it just didn't. Again, it was taking me out of the movie because it was going somewhere realistic, and then all of a sudden it got into a weird place here. So
weird.
Yeah, it got a little weird there. And again, the story was okay. The story itself was like, it was at one point going somewhere with the whole, Snake Eyes saving, Storm Shadow, fighting the Yakuza, getting into the clan. And I was like, oh, this is all right. This is not bad. But then when it just got into the weird realm, that's when it started to lose me. And also, again, for the love of that we have for Snake Eyes, the character, this wasn't him. We can get past the part that, yeah, Snake Eyes is not mute in this movie, because I get that, right? I can understand that you want Snake Eyes to talk so that he's more interesting. We can get a little deeper into his story. It makes it for a better character on screen. Okay, no problem. But make the rest of the movie good and make him be Snake Eyes. He was a jerk the entire movie. So that's kind of like what kind of bothered me about having this movie with Snake Eyes like that. I don't know if there's anything else that bothered you about the movie, Brandon.
The entire third act, the whole ending sequence, which was meant to be cool, and I agree. A lot of parts were cool, where they were fighting the ninjas, the soldiers, and they came together as like. That's like the Avengers of the G.I. Joe universe for the Ninja Avengers when they came together. I actually thought Storm Shadow's costume was pretty cool because it was pretty true to Storm Shadow.
He didn't have the hood, but he
didn't have the hood, but he had the jacket, and it was pretty cool. And just the third act alone kind of killed the movie for me, because it was like, I'm the guy who has the jewel that all I have to do is look at you and you blow up. But I'm going to spend 7 minutes watching you guys assemble and not blow any of you up. But then you're going to take it from me and not blow me up. And then they still had to fight him in the woods somehow. And it was just stupid. And just the whole way it ended, they get back to the temple. And it's like, oh, Snake Eyes, thank you so much for saving the day. But let's not forget that you handed them the jewel. Our whole village and clan is wrecked.
You stole the jewel.
You
pretended to be our friend and family.
And they're like, thank you so much. You're the best. But Tommy, you picked up the jewel and you tried to use it. Shame, shame, shame. And he was like,
make any sense.
And he straight up was like, what the fuck? He was like, that guy, though, we should cut off his fucking head. Because that's what we do. And they were like, no, we need to thank him. because he fixed this. Where you, Tommy, you fucked this up. You'll never lead this clan.
All he did was defend the clan. I just don't understand.
It was stupid. And then for Tommy was like, well, you know what? You gave me the out, so I'm gonna take the out, and I'm just gonna leave. And he looked at, he goes, the next time we meet, I'm gonna fuck you up. Agreeable. I would fuck him up too.
I'd help you, Storm Shadow.
I would help you. I'd call the rest of the Joes and I'd fuck him up. And then for Snake Eyes to be like, this is all my fault. We gotta go get him back. You've done enough.
Yeah.
You've done enough. Stop it. And they're like, you know what? Let's help you. Let's give you our most high-tech, secretive piece of technology. It's a Snake Eyes costume. We made it just for you, apparently. Take it and bring Tommy back, even though we disgraced him and kicked him out.
Brandon, you described the third act perfectly, Brandon. That was amazing. That was just amazing, man. But look, dude, that leads me to another part that I don't like. You have a movie called Snake Eyes Origins. You have the trailer show him put the Snake Eyes helmet on and click it, and it shows the visor that he has. That's the only time that Snake Eyes was in the movie, was that one scene, and it showed it in the trailer.
It was the last 15 seconds.
The last, 10, 15 seconds of the movie itself. Come on, man. Come on. Give me the guy in the suit. Why I have to wait another 3 years to see this guy in the real suit? Come on. You named the movie Snake Eyes for a reason. You should have at the very least, give him the costume after the third trial if he had passed it or whatever, and that way he has the costume or the outfit, and then Storm Shadow gets his, and then the third act, while they're doing all this dumb nonsense, at least they have their costumes on that we can see something cool and oh my god, look, it's Snake Eyes on the screen. We couldn't even do that. We saw Snake Eyes on the screen. You could go on the commercial right now. That's the Snake Eyes. That's the one time you see him, is what they show on the commercial. It's just so stupid. And then you have a post-credit scene where he goes, call me Storm Shadow. I'm like, dude, we called you Storm Shadow throughout the whole movie.
It's like the passing storm in the shadows.
They were really corny like that.
It was so fucking corny about that.
Yeah. How was that your post-credit scene? That the post-credit scene should have been something like us seeing another G.I. Joe, or maybe them telling us who we're going to see in the next movie. That they're clearly trying to make a franchise. They're clearly trying to start something, and they really need to step up the writing on these next movies, man, if they want us to be invested, because I get what they're going for. They're going for the Marvel MCU way of making movies. Little characters, then a big movie with all the characters in one thing. If you're going to do it right. Look what happened to DC. Look what happened to how they did Batman and Superman, and then they did Justice League. No.
It's all about the toys, man. It's all about the toys.
Take your time. Do it right. And the thing that sucks the most is there was so much potential.
So much. The talent was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then that post-credit sequence, you're going to tell me that this man was so mad that he was like, you know what? Let's join Cobra. You know what? Let's do it. Why the fuck not? They should have they should have just stole the whole Doctor Strange story, just like Baron Mordo. Baron Mordo was a good guy for the entire movie up until the post-credit scene where he killed the one magic user. Because throughout the movie, magic being able to be given to everybody else seemed like a problem progressively throughout the movie. So they should have did the same thing where them two were great friends the entire movie, especially because they didn't give the Snake Eye suit, friends the entire movie, and something at the end of the movie was to cause a little bit of a rift where you can see that in the future they're going to have this rivalry. But exactly. God damn it.
Oh, man, Snake Eyes, you let me down, man. You let me down.
He's not even a mute.
Hey, he's still not mute. He's still talking.
Not mute. He's still talking. They're like, we could have a sequel. Let's keep him talking for a while.
Yeah, and that's in a nutshell. Like when you started off wrong, you finished worse. Started off wrong and you finished worse. Jesus, come on, man. But I listen. Let's be honest. If they tell me that they have the Duke Origins or Shipwreck, okay, maybe not Shipwreck. Maybe not Shipwreck. Roadblock. Roadblock G.I. Joe Origins. I'm there. Beachhead Origins. I'm there.
Zanzibar the pirate. who I'm pretty sure was Snake Eye's dad. Like
even like Flint, or Lady J. Come on, I to say that I wouldn't go check it out is a lie. I'll definitely see it, especially if you have a good actress or actor playing these roles, or you got a good trailer that sells it like there's gonna be some good action. I'll definitely be there. I'll definitely go check it out. But you guys got like 2 more attempts in you, man. That if you guys can't nail the next 2, I don't know if I'm going to be sold on this franchise, man. How about you, Brandon, man? You ready to see another G.I. Joe Origins or G.I. Joe movie?
I completely agree with you. They're definitely trying to go down the Marvel route of the small characters. And I think, to be honest, it's a save face. Go with Duke. It's the safest bet you can go with. Cast somebody who you think is going to be a great Duke and have like an awesome story. He doesn't have to go against Cobra Commander. It doesn't have to go that way. There are plenty other Joe villains that they could do a one-off and then lead to Cobra Commander in a G.I. Joe movie. But like, just give us a good story. That's the only thing we ask for any movie we see is a great story. Like I can say 100% that He-Man show on Netflix that they just put out is 1,000 times better than what we just saw.
Yeah, definitely. I just saw the He-Man show you just talked about on Netflix. It's a good 5-episode arc. The one thing I didn't like about that episode, the Netflix show of He-Man, there was spoiler, not a lot of He-Man.
It is not called He-Man. It's called the Masters of the Universe. They got you there.
All right. They got me. But we'll probably save that review for He-Man maybe next week. Maybe give Al and Sanj a chance to watch it, and we'll talk about it next week. Because since there's now no real big movies coming out this week. So we'll probably save that He-Man review for next week, guys, and tell you guys the spoiler version of our thoughts on He-Man. Because that's another classic toy line from when I was young. Yeah,
you're going to sell us on nostalgia. You got to do it right.
Absolutely, man. Transformers. Siege. My ass. Terrible. Oh man. So guys, listen, that's gonna be our podcast for tonight. That's just me and B here tonight. And when we have less people, we have less things going around as far as conversations going. So we'll keep it to a light one today. But again, join us back next week where we talk about He-Man most likely and maybe any other movies that we got a chance to see this week. So we'll be back next week. Coming from Long Island, New York, we got my brother B.
Adios, everybody.
Myself, Hav, saying thank you guys for listening, for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that little plus symbol on your playlist if you're listening to us on your podcast. That way we come to you every single week and you hear us talk about movies and the movies that we love and love to hate. Any comments, questions, send them to the realfanreview@gmail.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you guys next week. Until next time.